Hi and welcome back to Mrs. Riley's Maths videos. This is video 11 in a series of algebra revision videos, and what we're looking at here is how to solve quadratic equations using the minus b formula or the quadratic formula. We've just in video 10 looked at how do we solve quadratic equations by factorizing, which can often, I think, be quicker. If your factorizing is good, it's really much quicker to factorize and solve. But sometimes we can't solve by factorizing, and at leaving cert level you don't have to be able to factorize and solve. You can just use the minus b formula. So the minus b formula, as it's called, or the quadratic formula, it's found in your formula tables. It's this formula here, and it's when your equation is in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So the x squared term first, then the x, then the constant. And what it is x is equal to, so your root or your solution is equal to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, 4 times a times c, all over 2a. Okay, this plus and minus means that we're going to get two answers. One is the answer we get when we add these two together, and one is the answer we get when we subtract these two. Common pitfalls is when we come to b squared. Okay, so let's just quickly look at this. B squared means b times b. If you have b is equal to 4, well then it's obviously 4 times 4, which is 16, which is fine. But if you've got b equal to minus 4, that's minus 4 times minus 4, which is also 16, which is fine. However, your calculator, if you put into your calculator minus 4 squared, it thinks you mean square the 4 and make the answer minus. So it gives you an answer of minus 16. So beware your calculator. Okay, beware your calculator. How you counteract that, how you do something to change that, is you put the 4 in brackets and get plus 16. Okay, or just do it in your head. So, question 1, x squared plus 4x plus 2 is equal to 0. So that's a is 1, b is 4, and c is 2. A is the number in front of x squared. There isn't a number there, so we know it's a 1. B is the number in front of the x, which is 4, and c is the constant at the end without the x, which is 2. And I'll write the formula again down here. Minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, so that's the formula I'm going to sub into. So it's x equals minus b, so minus whatever b is, which is minus 4, plus or minus the square root b squared. B is 4, so it's 4 squared, minus, that's always a minus, that's always a 4, by a, which is 1, by c, which is 2, all divided by 2a, which is 2 by 1. So get into the habit of subbing your numbers into your formula before you do any workings out, because you will get marks, you'll get credit for subbing it incorrectly. Now minus 4 just stays as minus 4, plus or minus, you can do this on your calculator if you want. 16 minus 4 by 1 by 2 is 8, all over 2 by 1 is 2. So minus 4 plus or minus the square root of 8 over 2. Now an important thing here is that it's going to be minus 4 plus the square root of 8 all divided by 2, and minus 4 minus the square root of 8 all divided by 2. You have to complete the top line before you do the division. So it's going to be minus 4 plus the square root of 8 equals divided by 2 equals, and it'll give it to you in a surd form, minus 2 plus root 2, but you'll probably in general have to give it as a decimal, so you press the SD button here, SD, and it tells me the answer is minus 0.5857. So 5857, which, rounding it off to 2 decimal places as they tell me to, is minus 0.59. Okay. And then my other answer is minus 4 minus root 8. Minus 4 minus root 8 equals, divided by 2 equals, minus 2 minus root 2, which is minus 3.414. So just minus 3.41. So my two answers are x equals minus 0.59 and x is equal to minus 3.41. Okay. Question 2, 3x squared plus 8x plus 2 equals 0. So it's A is 3, B is 8, and C is 2. So it's minus 8 plus or minus the square root of B squared again, which is 8 squared minus 4, always minus 4 by A, which is 3 by C, which is 2, all over twice A, so twice 3. So minus 8 plus or minus the square root of 64 minus 24, 4 by 3 by 2 is 24, all over 6. And just for space wise, I'm going to work to the right here. Minus 8 plus or minus the square root of 40 over 6. So my two answers are going to be minus 8 plus root 40 over 2 and minus 8 minus root 4, sorry, over 6. Minus 8 minus root 40 over 6. So let's plug those in. Minus 8 plus root 40 equals, divided by 6 equals, and get the decimal, minus 0. Now, do you see that? I'm going to round that off to minus 0.28 for 2 decimal places, minus 0.28, and minus 8 minus root 40 equals, divide by 6 equals, minus 2.39. X is equal to minus 2.39. Okay, let's try question 3. So we've got 6x squared minus 9x plus 4 is equal to 0. So A is 6, B is minus 9, C is equal to 4. So it's minus B, so it's minus 9 plus or minus the square root of minus 9 squared minus 4 by 6, that's A, by C, which is 4, all over 2 by A, which is 2 by 6. You can see there's quite a few minds here, or difficulties here. Minus 9 is plus 9. Minus 9 squared, as I've said, is 81. It's plus 81. 4 by 6 is 24. And what have I done wrong here now? Because 4 by 6 is 24, by 4 is 96. So this number shouldn't be bigger than this number. So let me just check. Have I got the question written down correctly? No, that should be a minus 4. So if you notice there, what I was doing in my head, I was saying that by that is 96, and I would have ended up with 81 minus 96, which is minus 15. I can't have a negative number underneath my square root unless I've got an equation with complex roots, which the vast majority of you don't need to worry about. So it should always be a plus number under here. So what I've done wrong here was I took down the question wrong. It should have been minus 4. So that should have been minus 4. So that should have been minus 4, which will give me plus 96 all over 12. So I've got 9 plus or minus the square root of 177 all over 12. Let's just double check that. 81 plus 96 equals 177. So I've got two answers. I've got 9 plus root 177 over 12 and 9 minus root 177 over 12. So just plug it into the calculator. Divided by 12 equals. So my two answers are you can see that 1.858. So 1.86. And x is equal to 9 minus root 177 equals, divided by 12, equals minus 0.36. I round it off. Okay, last question. We've got 5x squared minus 4x minus 2 equals 0. A is 5, B is minus 4, C is minus 2. So it's going to be minus 4. Minus 4 plus or minus the square root of minus 4 squared minus 4 by 5 by minus 2 all over 2a, which is 2 by 5. So minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4, always 4, a, which was 5, by c, which was minus 2 all over 2a, which is 2 by 5. So what do I have? I have minus 4 is plus 4. Plus or minus the square root of 16. 4 by 5 is 20, by 2 is 40. 16 plus 40 all over 10. So plus 4 plus or minus the square root of 56 over 10. So 4 plus or minus the square, so 4 plus the square root of 56 all over 10, and 4 minus the square root of 56 over 10. So just remember again, I have to do 4 plus root 56 equals. I've got to get that answer first before I divide by 10. Divided by 10 equals, so 1.15, and 4 minus root 56 equals, divided by 10 equals, and change to decimal, minus 0.35. Okay, I hope that helps. Try it for yourself now, and I hope you're understanding it better. Thanks.